Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg, and I am going to go over the cryptocurrency market. But at the same time, I'm going to go over the overall markets, kind of give you guys a little bit different perspective of looking at things, not necessarily from my point of view. It's just something to think about. Um, one of the things I'll say this. Oh, by the way, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, be greatly appreciated. New subscribers, I appreciate you too. I have more of, if you could say, a bullish slant, and I've kind of showed that I think in some previous videos. There's a lot of good setups in the altcoin. So one thing that I'll say, guys, is that it's this. Oh, and by the way, I have, if you want to make a donation, I have some information down in the description too. I keep forgetting to say that, but I'm not too big on that right now. But I have it down there if you want to support the channel, because I'm not going to shill any coins. And if you could believe it, there's already people asking me to do that for them. It's unbelievable. Imagine when it gets bullish again, guys. So here's the deal. One, guys, some people have been telling me like 40 or 50% of all their money is already in the market. Be careful of that, okay? There's a lot of, hey, there's a chance that this really could do a swing up, particularly depends on what assets you are in. And just look, be careful. I'm hovering between 8 to 12% out of all my portfolio for longs. And then and then sometimes I go play shorts to hedge it and things like that. Okay, guys. So the markets can change fast. So just realize that and just be careful. Okay, that you're going that heavy in right now at 50% of your total portfolio. Okay, and I know you got 50% left over, which is still good. At least you're 50% cash. But me personally, just thinking about it, not knowing anything about the person or anything, and like if somebody said, "Hey, I'm like 10% or 15%," I'd be like, "Okay, you're all right." Just be careful and maybe hedge it if you need be, and be prepared for downside, things like that. I'd be like, okay, cool. 50%, a little bit high up there right now. That's a little bit high in my opinion. Just like I said, guys, be careful if you're that high in all your holdings. Now, if it works out, you'll be you know, you'll be happy, I guess, right? And there's a good chance it could work out. I don't want to be negative, but I'm going to go to some negative and some positive, try to give you perspective, what I think could be possibly be going on. Now, here's what I'm going to say, guys. I got the Bitcoin chart on there, but we're going to talk about the Fed, right? Everybody on Twitter, what do they say? Don't fight the Fed, right? What's the game? What's the game that they like to play, right? Oh, I'm just gonna wait till the Fed pivots. Really? You're gonna wait till the Fed pivots and then you're gonna go back in. That's what regular retail people do. Come on, you think it's that easy? Oh yeah, just a Fed pivot. Let's go dump our money back into the market. We'll make bank. Come on, guys. And that sounds like a pretty good plan, right? Oh yeah. Okay, Fed pivot. Look, it's never that easy. That's never that easy. So you have to realize too. Here's the Fed. Like here's the Fed is reducing. Okay, it's going through quantitative tightening. So people are going to sit back. The Fed might not pivot for 18 months. 18 months. So if they're going to wait for the Fed pivot, they could be waiting for a long time till the Fed pivots. But just to give you as an example, you could have stocks doing like this right here. I checked this one. I decided to go look at some stocks. You see, this thing went up 2x in just a matter of a couple months right here. ELF. You see? Okay, right there. It went up. So they're over there. This is going up. Everybody's like, oh, it's all bearish. And look at ELF here. It's coming to an end. I'm just showing you as an example. This is from New York Stock Exchange. It went up 2x in that amount of time, guys. So just to give you guys an idea, but let's go back to the Fed. So the whole line of thinking is that you have to wait till the Fed pivots to before you can get back into the stock market. Okay. But there's also a game that goes on too, if you think about it, right? So like the retail investors into a market. So you have the Dow Jones Industrial, right? The retail's in here, and they typically if you go back and you look, they dump it, and who comes back into the bottom buys it, and it goes back up, kind of like over here, right? It comes, dump it, goes back up. If you go look through the history of the Dow Jones Industrials as an example, guys, right? They go through here and it comes up, it goes through the dump, and then they buy it. It goes through the dump and then they buy it. typically is what happens if you think about it like that. So what I'm saying is that is there some sort of if you think about it, like just not necessarily what the media is saying, like your regular just retail investors saying don't fight the Fed, that you have to wait till the Fed pivots. But I'm thinking, is there this game going on? They're just going to dump it, right? And they're just getting it back down here to buy it and bring it back up? Or is the Dow Jones here? It's going to pivot, go up for a little while, get the buy. It just all depends, don't know where this is going to end up, but that's just food for thought and something to think about, right? So it's it's a game of taking money from the other person is what it is. And that very well could be going on right now, guys, is dumping it. Now, going back, now I want to show you like this ELF coin I was showing you guys, ELF coin. This kind of relates to the overall markets too, particularly like the crypto market. So I'm back here at the Bitcoin chart. So you have good setup. So who dropped first? Who crashed first, right? Crypto crashed first. Crypto started crashing like right around November. Then it was S&P. Now we're going through the housing crisis. And right now, I have signals in the crypto market where I have a lot of good setups. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a couple right here that people are ultimately bearish on. Cardano, right? Cardano ended its correction in August. So think about it. Let's think about this reasonably. August. So Cardano has been in a correction for, let's say, 336 days. And it's had I'm just going over it. It's had how much of a drop? A 87% drop, right? And then you go over here to the weekly RSI. I'm looking at it's all the way down there, the lowest it's ever been. And usually what happens, what is that right there, right? It's higher in price, lower in the RSI, hidden bullish divergence. Kind of like what you would see over here with XRP, lowest in the R. Here's XRP and lowest, right? Lower in the RSI, higher in price. See, higher in the RSI, lower in price. What is that? Hidden bullish divergence telling you it's going to do what? Go up, more than likely, based off this data. And let me take a look at another coin right here that people are getting bearish on. You get bearish on Chainlink. So here's Chainlink, right? And you have this whole structure. Chainlink has this whole structure behind it as support, okay? Not only just this like section here, it has this whole section, this whole structure as support, and it's come around and done a correction. How long's Chainlink been in correction? Chainlink has been in a correction for 378, you could say over 400 days. And the RSI is the lowest it's ever been. And you see higher in price, lower in RSI, lower in price, higher in RSI, all the way down there. What am I saying? I'm saying the probability is Chainlink's playing around in here, getting ready, probably getting itself warmed up to start making its trek back up there. That's what I'm saying. More than likely, and it goes back to what I was saying about the Fed, and I'm going to go over some other stuff too, the Fed, and that there's a possibility some games, the real games are probably going on at government level games, probably with Fed and other governments. There's a good chance of it. Do I see right here with if you take Chainlink, right? Okay, I have Chainlink on this chart. One of the reasons why I'm going more towards Chainlink in here is warming itself up to possibly start trekking up is just because on this structure that Chainlink did right here, this you see this nice three-way move, boom, boom, okay? If Chainlink was making a trek and started going down to these areas, and we're in the mega bull or the mega bear scenario, Chainlink would be dragging itself up here to get ready to get its trek down there. And it's really not doing it. Could there be a little bit more downside? There could. That's always the case. You want to keep that in the back of your mind. But it's just not setting itself up to be doing normally you'll see a bounce like that. You see how this came down aggressively and then you see a massive bounce. This is a massive bounce to be able to drag it back down of 200%, okay? And this, if I take the bottom right there, where is that? Right about there, and had a little bit of a bounce, just 47%. You really want to see this, if this was up here, in my opinion, and I see an RSI way up here and things like on the weekly and things, I say, oh yeah, it could be setting itself up. I just don't see it with Chainlink, guys. So what I'm saying with the Fed and things are going on out in the market, looking at some other assets out there in the stock exchange. Granted, this is coming to an end with ELF. I know you guys don't care about the stocks and things. As a matter of fact, could have a short opportunity as long as that RSI doesn't take out that peak right there. If you want to go over there and short something, because it's coming to an end. You can see this is a nice wedge right here. You see this? This is a nice, it's making a nice wedge up, just like so. Okay. So, and then it came down right here. You can see with this coin, or not this coin, but this stock, you know, you have the opportunity. It was right there. There was your signal. And usually the bullish divergent plays out fairly well, especially when you see it on the weekly, guys. It usually plays out. Pretty good amount of bullish divergence right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that on GBTC, which GBTC, or Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, is a proxy of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going down. This is going down. Bitcoin's going up. This is going up. Okay, and there's a lot of people are very, very bearish on this asset. I watched some videos on it, and they're just talking about it going like down to these areas. I don't think, could there be more downside for it? There could, but the facts remain is that this is making the same thing. A massive, I don't want to say massive, a good amount of bullish divergence on the weekly right there. So a reversal's coming up. When? I have no idea. I'd be willing to bet some sort of reversal in this area, somewhere in this area, wherever it finishes up, and it's going to start making its trek the other way. We shall see. We shall see. So I want to go over some other things too with you guys. I know I'm going over stuff that you guys want to know about those small cap coins. Not worried about the small cap coins. There's a lot of good setups in the small cap coins in crypto. And is this the DXY? Okay, so I made a video, talked about the DXY. You want to pay attention to it. Well, you don't have to pay attention to it. Just watch my videos if you want, because I'm keeping my eye on the DXY and what's going on with this. And you're starting to see some craziness going on. Like I was scanning YouTube like last night. Okay, let me go down, go through YouTube, see what's going on. And everything was bearish. There was like nothing. It was all bearish. Everything's going down. We're screwed. The DXY is going 160. And if it does go to 160, I would say, yeah, that could be going on. So I decided to do a little digging. And I told you on my videos, I was like, something's going on in the charts. It's seeping out into the charts with the DXY and the dollar and everything. And come to find out, I was right. You see, Japan right here. Japan tried to shore up. Here's the title. Japan intervenes to prop up the yen for the first time in 24 years. And Thursday, buying yen, selling US dollars for the first time in 24 years. Okay, well, this right here is probably a little bit misleading. Are they selling dollars? Probably treasuries is what they're selling. More than likely, that's probably should be treasuries right there for the first time. They're selling a lot more treasuries. They could be selling dollars too. Don't know for sure, but that would be my guess. So you come over here, the Japanese, the JPY, the Japanese yen, and you can see this thing's tanking. It's coming to an end. This is a weekly chart. Okay, it's coming to an end because you got that's a massive amount of bullish divergence. So it's coming to an end, could drop more, boom. So that leads us back to the DXY. When is it going to cool off? When is this going to cool off? I got it on that channel right there. And you see a lot of crazy Elliott wave people putting this thing to massive, massive levels. And I'm going to run through this real quick, showing you through the RSI and the weekly, how I just don't think it's getting up there, guys. It's coming to an end. You can see right here, this highest peak. As long as this RSI and the weekly doesn't take that out, like that, it goes way up here like that, then it's in a topping pattern. It's coming up. So I decided to put on the channel, show you guys here. Here's the one I'd be looking at, that area right there, 116, and then hitting a 120. Okay. And if that's the case, if this is getting up there and into those areas, you're going to see there'll probably be a lot of volatility in Bitcoin and all the markets and everything. And they're going to go, that's going to happen probably more than likely. I'd just say that more than likely. So I'm going to break this down real quick. I'll show you in RSI how I don't think that these massive numbers are correct. Okay. Because you have your wave one here. This is the wave one, and it went through a correction over here. And this whole thing's your wave three. And over here's your 4, and it's coming up for a 5. I can explain that, show you two. You just go look for the highest momentum in the RSI. Where's the highest peak? Right there. You see, right there on the weekly. Boom. And this is a 4th wave correction. It went up on a 5, creating that bearish divergence, throwing it into a correction. Now it's finished over here, making that 5th wave. And you can see from the 3rd wave to the fifth wave, right now you have bearish divergence on this structure coming up like so, okay? And then you have bearish divergence within the weekly on this this leg up too, okay? So 160, I don't see it yet. Could it happen? Could Japan keep doing its stuff like it's doing over here? It could, and throw that way up there and manipulate it a little bit. That could happen. But according to the charts, it looks like it's still coming to an end here soon. Well, I don't want to say soon. Could be 2 weeks or 4 weeks. But at the end of the day, here's your wave one. This is your correction. You see how this correction goes with this correction? So this over here is more like a over here is more like, it looks like a flat type move. No, zigzag. So over here's a zigzag, and this looks more like a flat. So you have a flat, a zigzag, so the alternation, so that's good. And you have a correction here, which goes with that correction here for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that matches up good. You have a wave one over here, okay? Back down for your 2, up for your 3. That's the fifth of your third right there. Back down for 4 and up for the 5. So that's going to be, so it's going to be probably some more time before any of the markets, crypto in particular, not to say the small caps could be taking off. I would agree with that. Some of them come started here. Like, look, Quant. Quant just needs, okay, what I'm saying is this right here. Once this is done and that pressure is released off this dollar, and if it's say, let's say, for example, it's done at 116, and then it can go into a little bit of a correction, okay? Those alts are going to pop, in my opinion. You're going to see some pops. That's what I'm going to predict. I think you're going to see some pops to the upside. That's what I think, if perhaps that does that, okay? So that leaves us with Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? And have no idea. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Really don't know. It's sitting in this area right now, guys. Like I said, those guys were really, really heavy in their bags. Just be careful. I think the potential for the upside swing seems more likely just because the amount of bullish divergence that you have here on the daily. It doesn't have to play out. And one of the reasons why this doesn't have to play out with this bullish divergence is because this is more of a three-wave swing, okay? This is a three-wave swing here. And typically with three-wave swings, do that bullish divergence play out? They do. However, this could come down. It's got to drop a lot and take that out, and you won't have it anymore. Potentially that could happen. It's not a guarantee, but it just seems like with looking at the other markets. So let me go back over to the Dow Jones Industrials on the weekly over here, guys, with you. It's looking pretty ugly over here in these sections. It's looking like they're coming up and they're due for a potential bounce. Just looking at the Dow Jones, you know, it has bullish divergence. Potential now they don't have it yet on the NASDAQ, you know. And then we don't know if this is impulsing down yet or if this is a three-wave swing. You know, just looking at it on the weekly, that looks like a three-wave swing. If it is, then it could bounce out of here, come down a little bit more and finally do a bounce. That would help the markets a little bit. Maybe the DXY is going to go into a correction. So it remains to be seen. But this right here is going to be the game for a little while, guys, waiting for this to peak. Okay, 116, I'll say 116 and potentially a blow off to 120. As long as this RSI down here is not taken out. If you see this RSI on, say, a 3-day chart or a weekly chart and gets up above there, could have problems, and you might want to change your strategy or start hedging your positions or whatever you need to do for any potential more downside in the cryptocurrency market. So where would that leave a coin like Matic? I just think, so a coin like Matic, what it would do is anytime the DXY goes into a correction or there's any inkling of bullishness one way, then Matic could just struggle and make its way up there, guys. More than likely, Matic is going to complete this wave to the fifth. It's going to have to be pretty dramatic, in my opinion, to break this whole sequence because, like I said, with Chainlink, Matic has all this support through this sequence. Not just right here, bounced off that, okay? If you look at it from a whole sequence point of view, it has all of this support, and it wants to complete that sequence. Kind of like Chainlink over here. It's down here, and it wants to complete that sequence, and it could be getting itself ready, Okay. It's just hard. It's just not starting quick because of the macro environment. More likely come down, play around in here a little bit more and start making its way up. Okay. But it's going to also, going back to how much more are they going to do over here and how aggressive that is going to be. I think the worst of it is done, and how much more Japan is going to be doing what they're doing in the currency, basically the currency wars. And is this going to leak over into other government currencies where they're going to be doing the same things, selling the treasuries, selling the bonds, driving them up more. So those are the things that are going to affect the market, definitely short term, and maybe even a little bit worse long term. But the good news is that a lot of these coins, guys, like this one, Cardano, Chainlink, even XRP, are set up for, doing a swing, one more fifth wave like this, one more wave up, where XRP is going to get it to, who knows? I'm thinking it's at least going to break that. It could get way up there. It's just going to kind of depend on the macro environment, if you will, and then blast up there. And then potentially Cardano's got one more push, Chainlink, one more push, Matic trying to finish off its sequence. And you got to realize they don't do it all at the same time. Matic could be done 2 months before any of these coins are done. So, they don't have to all do it at the same time. Okay. They can be in a bullish sequence while one's in a correction. Okay. So like XRP could be going up, and when they have like Bitcoin is having, say you could have like some sort of C wave that goes up in a correction or something like that, then, this could go up at that time. Anyhow, that's a little bit long-winded. That's kind of what I'm looking at, guys. Didn't want to put too much negativity to it, because if you go to the YouTubes, everything's, going to be going to zero. And if you think about it from a outside the box point of view, where, hey, are we being played? That's what I'm thinking. Where's the catch? Because it's never as easy as, I'm just going to wait till the Fed pivots and then I'm going to ape. Never, ever that easy. If you made it all the way to the end, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.